Hello and welcome to edupediaworld.com. Democracy in the Contemporary World, the chapter which we are going to study today. We are studying about Chile and its democratic ups and downs. Now we are going to study a European country, Poland. Democracy in Poland. Let's see another event, this time from Poland in 1980. Poland was ruled by the Polish United Workers' Party. This was one of the many communist parties that ruled in several countries of East Europe at that time. These countries, no other political party was allowed to function. The people could not freely choose the leaders of the Communist Party or the government. Those who spoke against the leaders or the party or the government were put in prison. The government in Poland was supported and controlled by the government of Soviet Union, the then USSR, a vast and powerful communist state. Poland was a European country and it was ruled by the Polish United Workers' Party, which was a communist party, and like the other communist parties which were ruled by several countries of East Europe at that time, there was no any other political parties was allowed to function, to participate in the election, nothing. Even the people did not have the right to choose their government, to cast their vote, or to choose the leaders of their communist party. And those who used to speak against them, used to oppose them, they were put in prison. They were punished harshly. And mostly the government was controlled and supported by the USSR, Soviet Union, a very vast and powerful communist state. We will study strike in Lenin Shipyard. On 14th August 1980, the workers of Lenin Shipyard, owned by the government in the city of Gdansk, went on a strike. In fact, all the factories and big property in Poland were owned by the government. The strike began with a demand to take back a crane operator, a woman worker who was unjustly dismissed from service. This strike was illegal because trade unions independent of the ruling party were not allowed in Poland. The strike started on 14th August. By the workers of Lenin Shipyard, a government organization. In fact, almost all the major factories and big properties in Poland were owned by the government. And this strike began with the demand when the government suspended a crane operator, a woman worker, and they were unjustly dismissed actually from their service. And the demand was to take them back. And this strike was illegal. Why? Because there are no any other independent party was allowed, any other trade unions were allowed to rule in the Poland. As the strike continued, a former electrician of the shipyard, Lech Walesa, joined the strikers. He was dismissed from service in 1976 for demanding higher pay. Walesa soon emerged as the leader of the striking workers. The strike began to spread across the whole city. Now, the workers started raising larger demands. They wanted the right to form independent trade unions. They also demanded the release of political prisoners and an end to censorship on press. The Lenin Shipyard strike, as it continued, it was joined by Lech Walesa, the former electrician of the same shipyard, and he resigned. He was dismissed from the service in 1976 because of demanding a higher pay. And soon he emerged as the leader of the workers. And this strike began to across the whole city. And now the workers started raising larger demands. They started demanding the right to independent trade unions, the release of political prisoners, and an end to the censorship of press. Consequence of strike. The movement became so popular that the government had to give in. the workers led by Walesa signed a 21-point agreement with the government that ended their strike. The government agreed to recognize the workers' right to form independent trade unions and their right to strike. After the Gdansk Agreement was signed, a new trade union called Solidarity was formed. It was the first time an independent trade union was formed in any of the communist states. The consequence of the Lenin Shipyard strike, it was so popular that the government has to interfere. They were the workers led by Walesa. They signed a 21-point agreement with government. After that, they ended their strike. And because of this 21-point agreement, the government had to agree for the workers' right to form independent trade union, and their right to strike was accepted. And after this agreement was signed, a new trade union called Solidarity, in Polish we pronounce Solidarność, was formed. And it was the very first time in the history of the communist state that an independent trade union was formed. Lech Walesa. Within a year, Solidarity swept across Poland and had about 1 crore members. The government, led by General Jaruzelski, grew anxious and imposed martial law in December 1981. Thousands of Solidarity members were put in prison. Freedom to organize, protest and express opinions was once again taken away. Another wave of strikes, again organized by Solidarity, began in 1988. Another round of negotiations with Walesa resulted in an agreement in April 1989 for free elections. Solidarity contested all the 100 seats of the Senate and won 99 of them. In October 1990, Poland had its first presidential election in which more than one party could contest, and Walesa was elected unanimously the president of Poland. After the Solidarity formed, it swept across all Poland and had about 1 crore of members, because of which the government, which was led by the General Jaruzelski, he became anxious and started imposing martial law in December 1981. And their members were put in prison. And all the rights which were given in the 21-point agreement, like right to organize, to oppose and to express their opinions, that were once again taken away from them. Again the wave of strike started, organized by the same Solidarity. Began in 1988. Another round of negotiation with Walesa and government started, and again a agreement was signed in 1989 for free elections. Solidarity Party contested all the 100 seats of units and won 99 of them, which became the president of Poland in October 1990. Thank you.